External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is set to hold bilateral talks with his Russian counterpart on the backdrop of the 26th session of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission. Earlier, he also paid his respects at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Remember, Jaishankar's Russia visit comes amid Trump's tariff penalty on India. Let's go across to Sumita to get more details on this.
That's right. The External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is currently in Russia, where he addressed a gathering of business leaders. And of course, present with him also was the Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, Denis Manturov. Remember, this visit is coming in even as Donald Trump has amped up pressure on India. He's put in elevated tariffs of additional 20% just for doing energy trade with Russia. So, of course, these visits are significant and how they're coming and at the moment and the timing at which they're coming. Today, the External Affairs Minister is expected to meet with his counterpart, his Russian counterpart, Sergey Lavrov. But let's take you through some of the key highlights of his meeting yesterday with Denis Manturov. And when he addressed that gathering, he stated that first things first, India and Russia need to immediately work on reducing the trade imbalance that currently persists. He also called upon Russian companies to invest more, and perhaps the fact that there should be more JVs, more investments from the Russian side into India. He said, and I quote, "And India, with a GDP of $4 trillion plus, growing at 7% for the foreseeable future, has an obvious need for large resources from dependable sources." And he also stated that we should be diversifying and we should be looking at more investments that are coming in. He also gave an update on the India-Eurasian economic FTA, the talks for which have been going in. In fact, the terms of reference have been finalized. He also stated that they are looking at an early conclusion of the Eurasian Economic Union FTA that comprises Russia and, of course, some of the other countries as well. In fact, just yesterday, when it comes to trading with Russia, just yesterday, an official of the Russian embassy here in India stated that India can sell more goods into Russia if it's finding the US markets challenging. In fact, the deputy trade representative of Russia in India also stated that India's imports of Russian crude are likely to stay at current levels, and that's essentially what Russia is expecting.
Sumita, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. But that's all the time we have on this edition of the show. But don't go anywhere. News, or rather, Market Fatafat coming up next.